Alright, now finishing off the Star Wars for now, until December, we have The Last Jedi. A very concisive, controversial chapter in the Star Wars saga. A lot of people didn't like this movie. And I was not one of them. I'm going to defend some plot points that the one thing that I agree on. There's one thing that I do agree with people about. That's about it that I agree with other people. So we'll start off with the plan. After the events of The Force Awakens, Rey is now on some planet with Luke, while the rest of the Resistance tries to get away from the First Order. Now, first and foremost, I want to talk about something that is very saddening. Before the release of this film, Carrie Fisher passed away. Now, everyone knows that. Now, the problem with this is that Leia is supposed to be a very important character in this trilogy. Now, what happens in this film with her character, I think she had finished filming this before her passing. But the Rise of Skywalker, she's listed as among the cast members, so is Mark Hamill. So I'm assuming that Mark Hamill's going to be a Force Ghost. Luke Skywalker's going to be a Force Ghost. That's what happens in this one. But Leia, they've already said it's going to be CGI and archive footage that she had already shot that wasn't used from Last Jedi and Force Awakens. So, there's that. I just kind of wanted to address that and put that in there because you gotta mention it. The good. Poe Dameron. Once again, he wants to lead. He wants to fight. I know that he's headstrong and he goes in a little too quickly without thinking. But so did Han Solo. He's the Han Solo of the group. Now, he fights. Leia is great, of course. You got Mark Hamill playing Luke Skywalker again, something I've been wanting for years. And finally, he's back. And for what his part is, he's pretty good. Daisy Ridley, much better in this one. She wasn't always looking like she was going to cry. She's much more confident. She's much more battle-scarred. Rey is much better. I also like Finn better in this one. While at first he wanted to run away, by the end of this film, he is a fighter. He has an arc. And while a part of that arc could have been taken out, it's a decent arc. He went from runaway to, towards the end, trying to fight to save them. Trying to go out on a limb. Very good. I like the cinematography. The planet where Luke is on, very good. The porgs are great. It's just the cinematography and scope of that. And the space battles. And the planet where they make their last stand on. Just phenomenal. Special effects in this movie Great. This is going to be controversial. The scene where Kylo Ren hesitates to blow up the ship, but two other fighters do, and Leia goes flying out, and then she uses the Force to go back in. People say she looks like Jedi Mary Poppins. I, for one, like that. I know people could say, oh, she's never shown that she's connected to the Force before. Yeah, she did. At the end of Empire, when Luke called out for her, she was connected, right? And she had some sort of connection in Return of the Jedi. So she has had a connection. One thing I forgot to mention. One thing that gets me, right? Yeah, The Force Awakens, she is connected. When Han dies, she can feel it, you know? Let's talk about Luke's journey here. Like I said, I like how Luke is portrayed. The one thing that people seem to talk about was that he was going to kill Kylo Ren. It's a conflicted choice to do something like that. But let's talk about it. I don't think he was actually going to do it. Because fear leads to hate. Hate leads to the dark side. He feared what Kylo Ren could become. So, had he done it, had he actually struck Kylo Ren down, that would have brought him closer to the dark side. Luke would be the one they're fighting against, not Ben. Not Kylo Ren, but Luke. He hesitated. Kylo Ren woke up, and there was a scuffle. I don't think he was going to kill him, because he knows what happens if he did. One, Han and Leia would, there was that. And two, I think, like I said, dark side. If he does that, he's leaning towards the dark side of the Force. Snoke. Now, this is not particularly Snoke the character, because I'll get to that in my negatives. But when Kylo Ren and Rey team up to take down the First Order soldiers after Kylo Ren kills Snoke, and they in that fight, that's a great scene. Absolutely great. Because you think, yeah, he's turning good, which I'm hoping he'll do in the Rise of Skywalker. But he doesn't. Maybe the people thought it would be too much like the original trilogy if he turned good. But I think it would have been a better idea if he did turn good. Who the enemy be? Come up with someone. The scene where Luke shows up on that planet. He hands the dice from Millennium Falcon. He hands those to Leia. And then he goes to walk by 3PO, and 3PO says, Master Luke. And Luke just winks at him. I love that. It made me smile when I was in the movie theater. Master Luke. Great. The fight between Kylo Ren and Luke. People kept saying, oh, you could tell he wasn't there because you could see there wasn't any footprints. I doubt anyone was looking at his footprints when he came out, when they were doing the fight. I doubt anyone during the first screening of this was paying attention to Luke Skywalker's freaking footprints. Because I sure wasn't. And I'm the guy who notices everything in movies. So you go out there, oh, I knew he wasn't really there because I saw he didn't have any footprints. No, you didn't. You didn't. You said that after the fact so you could be cool. I guarantee no one knew he wasn't really there when the movie first showed in theaters. Unless you watch someone's review so that you can go home and say, oh, you see that? Because in a scene like that, no one's paying attention to feet, okay? Just saying. But, great scene nonetheless. Now we gotta go to my negatives. The whole master hacker subplot. Not necessary. As for one, they don't get the guy anyway. So, here's what happens. Poe and Rose, we'll get to her. Not Poe. Finn and Rose go to find this master hacker played by Justin Theroux. He's got this red plum bloom on his shirt, on his jacket. They go to find him on this one planet. It's a casino planet that has these indigenous creatures. And they get there. They don't get that hacker, but they get CJ, or DJ, played by Benicio del Toro. And he turns on them. And their plan doesn't work anyway. So, I'm always against any subplot where you have, we gotta do this so we can do this. And we gotta get this to do this so we can do that. And it doesn't pan out anyway. Like, it doesn't work out for them. What was the point of putting that in? You gotta see from my point of view, alright? They said they gotta go find a master hacker. Okay, you gotta go to the planet, find the hacker so they can hack in, get in there, and disable the tracking thing. That doesn't get done. When they did it in A New Hope, that thing got disabled. The tractor beam was disabled. That was done. They were able to get away. You know, they got shot at, they got found out, but what they went there to do still got done. Here, it's completely pointless. And you got Captain Phasma, who is killed like that. Pointless character. Alright? Now, I don't like some of the decisions that Rian Johnson made in this. Like, for instance, saying that Rey's parents were just unimportant people that left her behind. And that's one of the things that people were curious about the most after Force Awakens. Who are her parents? Another one, who is Supreme Leader Snoke? Both of those things were thrown out the window because Rian Johnson didn't care to answer the questions. So he said, just write that Rey's parents were people who left her and they're nobodies. Just kill them. I don't care. Now, I know that there have been articles saying that J.J. Abrams said that this is what was supposed to happen. I think he's just trying to defend it. Trying to defend Rian Johnson. Then they gave Rian Johnson a Star Wars trilogy, which is no longer happening. I think. Why? It's made abundantly clear in this film he doesn't care. He's just there to make money. He doesn't care. He put in a whole subplot about being on a casino planet to get a tracker that goes nowhere just to waste time. Just to make it so it's the length of a Star Wars film. I don't like the fact that the characters are separated to begin with. Now, I know that Rey had to be with Luke. That's fine. But Poe and Finn should have stayed together. They got separated in the last one. They got separated in this one. No, it looks like they're going to all be together in this one. But that's just been from a couple of trailers that we've seen. Just because we've seen it in trailers doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like, they keep hinting towards Rey going to the dark side. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yes, she had that where she was lured right to it. Everyone in the entire world has a dark side. Sometimes they lean toward it, sometimes they don't. But it always is calling for them. It's always something you want to do something wrong. You know? Especially these kids. Everybody is like that. If they say they're perfect angels and never do anything wrong, they're lying through their teeth. Because everybody has some sort of dark side. They're either lying through their teeth or they haven't done the bad things yet. But everyone out there does or has thought of doing a bad thing. Doesn't mean they're bad. So it doesn't mean that Rey is going to turn bad just because she has thoughts of the dark side. And for all we know, it was Snoke doing it to her to begin with, because Snoke admits that he had caused a connection between her and Kylo Ren. So for all we know, it was Snoke pulling the strings to push her into that. And everybody keeps saying from the trailer, oh, Rey's gonna turn evil. No, she's not. It's gonna be a dream, I guarantee it. Because they have a way of putting things in trailers that are misleading. It's gonna be a dream. A Force dream, or a vision, or something. Like in the trailer for Force Awakens, we saw a bunch of stuff with, Luke's hand on R2-D2, a lava planet, which turned out to be, ding ding, a vision. I guarantee you that whole thing with Rey turning to the dark side with that red saber is going to be a vision or a dream or something like that. Porgs, well, interesting looking characters, really don't go anywhere, but they're going to be the next one, I hope, because continuity-wise, they have a nest on the Falcon, so they gotta still be there, or, continuity, who knows. Anything else? Kylo Ren. I made this point that Kylo Ren under the mask was good. Here, they barely have him in the mask. A couple scenes, maybe. Otherwise, we see Adam Driver the whole time, and we see the whole time he's gonna throw up. I'm sorry. I know he's a good actor, but he always looks like he's gonna throw up, and it's not for me. And I know we're not gonna get any of the mask stuff. At least we might get some in Rise of Skywalker, but I just don't care to see Adam Driver. Just don't care. Let's talk about Rose. Alright. Now, they wedge her in here with a storyline. Her sister is one of the pilots that died. Okay? So they wedge that in. And then they have her tase Finn when he's trying to leave. Tried to explain he wasn't trying to desert them. He was trying to get far away from the attack so that Rey doesn't come flying in to a trap. To me, that's smart. But no, you're not leaving. And then she has to go with Finn on the journey. Why? And then Finn finally stands up and decides he's going to fight, and she knocks him out of the way. You're going to go down fighting, right? Sure, I'm not going to kill off one of the main characters, fine. And that's not even a problem. He saved her life, or she saved his life, that's fine. Here's my problem, and it's not even with this movie, it's with the next one. Because Rose is going to be in the next film. But to me, she should be dead. Because she basically gives her love to Finn, and then dies. She's like, that's dead. I know that she gets taken to the medevac. Sure, fine. But I assumed she was dead. And then they show her for like a second in one of the new trailers. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Can she be dead? She's an unimportant character. She's needless. And I guarantee they're just gonna wedge her in to a story that she's not necessary for. I'd rather have Kylo Ren slice her head off right at the beginning of the movie. Like Kylo Ren comes in. He goes to kill Finn. She gets in the way. She's dead. I'm sorry. I have nothing against the actress. For what she had, she's okay. The character is useless. She's unneeded. Alright? They wedged her in to give Finn some sort of romantic connections, but they already had a sort of romantic thing with him and Rey. And now I'm hearing like rumors like, Finn and Poe were holding hands in the trailer. No, they weren't. I didn't see that. And but I will admit, I did notice something in The Force Awakens. Like when Poe comes back, he starts fighting, and Finn knows it's him, and they just like reunite, they hug. I'm like, okay, I can see why people are shipping them, but they're not going to be a couple. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. If they end up being a couple, the first gay couple in Star Wars, but I'll admit it. I'm not against it, by any means. You want to open things up? Fine. That's fine. You want to, that would be great. We haven't seen that. That's fine. I'm not against any kind of same-sex pairing in movies. I'm not. Not at all. It's progressive. But don't do it because there's a connection between the characters. Don't do it just to say, we have a gay couple in Star Wars. We have a gay couple in Star Wars. Look at us. We're so progressive. Don't do it for that reason. Do it to drive a story because the characters have a connection and it fits within the story. Don't do it just to prove you can put a gay couple in Star Wars and show it to the world. Disney has had a lot of problems with that. We're trying to do female empowerment stuff with Aladdin and Captain Marvel, which I think is better than Aladdin. And it's less of the thing, and people are like, oh, they want to put Valkyrie and Captain Marvel together. Well, I kind of already assumed that Carol and Maria were a thing. She didn't have a male love interest or anything. I kind of just assumed they were a thing because they were in the armed forces in the 90s at a time where, that wasn't really progressive. I don't even know if it's even allowed now. I think it's like don't ask, don't tell, right? I've never been in the armed forces, but I'm just saying. Moving away from this. But I'm just saying, it won't be a bad thing if they do it. And it won't be out of nowhere because they do have a connection. I'm just saying, do it because of the connection, not because you want to be progressive. I'd rather see Poe and Finn together over Finn and Rosie. I'd actually like to see Finn and Rey be together. I know Jedi's aren't allowed to love, but come on. So, is there anything else I can say? The ending's okay. It's not really cliffhanger, not really, because there's some things, but it's not like the end of, and then it's not that. It's just that as Luke said, he will not be the last Jedi, and then Rey lifts all the rocks. That's great. She's moving she's powerful with the Force. That's great. And then, you get this setup where they're all standing there, and it looks like it's going to do that shot where they're all standing there, and then dun, like at the end of Return of the Jedi. But then it cuts to that same planet. I think it's the same planet they were on with those one things, and the casino planet, I think. And you see this kid telling the story of what happened on that planet with Luke and the machine, which I didn't notice that before. And I'm like, he must be connected to the Force if he knows the story wasn't even there. And he goes out, and he has like a broom or something. He goes like that, and it ends. I'm like, that's a good connection. Probably gonna ignore it in the next one, but it's a good way to end it. Guys, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Can't talk anymore. Sweating my butt off. Can't talk about it anymore. 7 out of 10 for The Last Jedi. What are your thoughts on The Last Jedi? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and of course, may the Force be with you. I should have had this for the whole time, but I didn't know where it was. The last two. Well, 3, because I'll do it in the... Goodbye.